take a good look at this R1 because this is the last time you guys are gonna see it like this. What a journey it's been. 6 months ago, I won this 2023 Yamaha R1 from an auction house almost 1,000 kilos away from me, and I hadn't even seen it. We got a 2023 R1! This was by far the biggest risk I've ever taken, but I've always wanted a new gen R1 and I was determined to get it fixed. This bike needed a complete front end, amongst other things. And the only way I could get it up and running was to get a donor bike. Meet my 2022 R1 donor bike. The first thing I did was to get my 2022 frame inspected and painted. Then I could move it to the 2023 bike along with the complete front end that I needed. Once I had everything put together, I could now focus on getting the bike running. Wait, guys! What? Now that we've made sure that the bike runs and there's nothing else to look at mechanically, it's time to dress this bike up and make it look like an R1. I showed you guys this box in the previous episode, which has the fairings we need to complete this rebuild. But before I open it up and start putting fairings on, I want to sort out a few little things on this bike. So as you guys can tell, the back wheel doesn't match the front wheel. So I need to get that wheel matching this wheel. And then some of you guys might have forgotten about our tank damage because I mostly show you guys this side of the bike, but we still have all of this that we need to get repaired. Plus I need to make the tank match the wheels. This rider seat got damaged right over here when the bike went down, so I need to get this whole thing reupholstered. Then there's this pillion seat, and quite frankly it would be easier for me to just replace this, but I want to see if I can't get this reupholstered along with that seat. So I'm going to send both of them together and hopefully we can still use this guy. So those are the things that I've identified that are going to take some time to repair. So I want to get them off the bike right now so that by the time we're done putting on the fairings, we can also have them back and start putting them on. So let me get everything off and we can carry on with the fairings. Now taking the back wheel off is actually quite easy. First I start by loosening the rear axle nut. Once that's nice and loose, I can slide the axle out of the wheel and then unhook the chain from the rear sprocket so I can pull the wheel out. Now because I've got an extra wheel from the donor bike, I'm gonna fit that on while I get the other wheel painted, just so I can move the bike around in the meantime. And yes, I could have just painted the donor wheel, but at the time this made sense. Once I've got that fitted nice and snug, I can move on to the tank. Now the damage on this tank isn't too severe and the dents aren't too deep. That's why I'm opting to repair it instead of replacing it. I'm pretty sure this is light work for any body shop. Once I've got the fuel lines and the fuel pump disconnected, I can set it back down, undo the last bolt, and then the whole thing can just come right off. Alrighty guys, I've got both the tank and the wheel off. I've actually sent them to the paint shop already and I had to do that in a bit of a rush, otherwise I wasn't going to get them done on time, and I'll tell you guys a little bit later why I'm in a bit of a rush. But those are gone now, and like I promised you guys, it's finally time to crack open our brand new box of fairings. So let me get this bike out of the garage so we can have a bit of space over here and lay the fairings down. Check these out guys, how stunning do these look. Of course I had to go for black. Some of you guys know how much I love black fairings on my bikes. I absolutely love it. I think it looks stealthy, it looks mean, it looks aggressive. But the other reason I went for black is I haven't seen that many black new gen R1s locally. I mostly see blue, I see some red over there, but never like a black stealth out. So I think this might be one of a very few. So hopefully that makes it stand out. But to be honest, I just love black, guys. So let me take you through what we've got over here. We obviously have our side pieces with the white stripes and written R1. That looks pretty sweet. We've got our tail pieces over here. I believe these are the front side pieces that go on top that hide all the wires and everything. We've got our front fender, we've got that piece that goes in front of the oil cooler, and that little piece that goes behind the seat. I believe those go in the front on the sides. We've got our front cowl, which I'm a little bit surprised that we got this with the bike. We already have one, but I'll just keep this one as a spare. And then these are the two side pieces that connect to the tail. Then we've got the under tray over there. We've got our windshield. We've got the two upper side pieces. We've got the front piece, and then this piece that connects to that piece that hooks up to the tank. The guys I got this from was super awesome. They even included a tank pad over there. I've got the heat shield material over here, and they also included a bolt kit, guys. So this has all the bolts that we're gonna need to put these fairings together. And if you look closely, you'll notice that all the bolts in here are black, guys, which is gonna go very nicely with this kit. But I'm really happy with this kit, guys. It looks absolutely stunning. The paint finish is so nice. I just hope the fitment is just as good, but there's only one way to find out, and that's to put them on the bike. So let me get these out of here, bring the bike in, and we start slapping them on. I'm gonna start with the tail section and then work my way to the front. I've got the under tray that came off the bike next to the new one. Now I can put these sponge strips that I got at my local hardware store, which do a pretty good job at mimicking the cushioning that's on the OEM piece. Once I'm happy, I can start mounting up the under tray to the rear subframe, and this thing fit on beautifully. Next are these winglets that go on each side of the tail. Each side has an inner and outer piece that are joined by a double-sided tape. And I was going to use some silicone, but if you look closely, you'll notice that the OEM piece is also joined by double-sided tape. So if Yamaha trusts it, so do I. Now I can start putting them on, and these mount up very easily. I've got 2 screws at the top and 1 underneath. Then I can do the exact same thing on the right side. The next pieces to go on are this battery cover, which is held on by 4 bolts, followed by this back trim piece, which is held on by 4 plastic clips. Next up is this upper side piece. I start by moving all the rubber pieces and metal spacers to the new fairing. Once those are on, I can use my sponge strips again to mimic the cushioning that's on the OEM piece. And I'm basically doing this so that the inner part of the fairings doesn't rub against our freshly painted frame, because I would hate to see marks on that thing. Now we can put the fairing on, and this is just held on by 2 bolts. Now I'm going to move on to the front of the bike, aka the face. First thing to do here is to move all the hardware from the old windshield to the new one. That's because my plan is to assemble the windshield to the front fairing so they can both go on as one piece. Now I can put all the windshield bolts on and put on any clips I might need later. Now it's time for the install, which is super easy because the whole thing just clips in place. At this point, I wanted to see the front looking almost complete, so I started putting on the mirrors. And man, with each mirror I put on, the bike kept on looking more and more like an R1. Then I moved on to the left upper piece, and I did the exact same thing I did on the right side. I'm gonna move back to the front and fit the front fender. And again, I'm moving all the rubber pieces and clips from the old piece to the new one. Then I can put the fender on the bike. Alrighty guys, I think I'm gonna pause here a little bit. We're making good progress with the fairings. Everything is going on exactly the way it should. I haven't had any fitment issues so far, so I'm very happy about that. So the next piece I was gonna throw on is the side fairing that goes right over there. But I got some case covers for this bike, and I think now would be a good time to throw them on just while we have everything exposed like that, and then we'll throw on the side fairings after. I found these GB Racing engine covers on eBay, and these act as protection for your engine covers, because when your bike goes down, your engine covers will likely hit first just because they stick out a little bit more. Now these will obviously not offer protection against all falls, but it's better to have something rather than nothing at all. Think of it like a screen protector on your phone. Now what you just saw me doing was lining up the cover to see which bolts I need to take out. And the kit comes with a manual that shows you, but I just had to make sure. The first step is to remove 4 of the 10 bolts securing the clutch cover to the engine. These will be replaced with slightly longer bolts which come with the kit. And you'll notice that I'm putting Loctite on each bolt just for good measure. Time to tighten these up, and the recommended torque spec by Yamaha is only 6 Newton meters, which is unbelievably low, so I'm gonna tighten these up by hand. Next up is the timing chain cover. I only had to take off 3 of the 5 bolts here, then I could start mounting up the case protector. I put some Loctite on each of the bolts here as well. Then I can start tightening everything up. The last case to put on was on the stator or flywheel cover. Again, repeating the same process, I took 4 bolts off here. Then I can begin mounting up the case protector.
Yeah, these have definitely cleaned up the side of the bike, guys. These look absolutely nice. Really happy with the way they look. Alrighty guys, I just got a text from the painters. They said the tank and the wheel are ready, so I'm gonna head over there, guys. I'm dying to see how they look and see how they turned out.
Oh yeah. Good, how's it?
Oof. Yeah, those the babies.
Woo!
They look good, eh?
Yo. Sheesh. Yeah, no, this is proper. This is proper. Yeah. Now I'm happy. Woo. Sheesh. Look at the tank. Whoa.
Give me that.
Dude, this is nice, man. Woo. Damn, this is like factory, like OEM paint. Oh. Damn. Nah, this is proper, guys. These are proper.
We're back in the garage, guys. We've got the tank over there, and I also picked up the seat on the way. So this is looking really good, guys. I just have this guy placed over here. Nothing has been fitted yet. I still have to put on the fuel cap and the fuel pump on this tank. But I'm so happy with the paintwork, guys. The finish on this thing is just amazing. It's perfect. It basically looks OEM, guys. I mean, this thing is super stunning, guys. It even matches the fairings very well. I'm really happy. The guys at Dent Lab really smashed it. If you guys want any paint work, any professional paint work done to either your bike or your car, I highly recommend them, guys. This is not a sponsor. I'm just happy with the work. And this is the side that was damaged, guys. We had all those scratches and dents on this tank, and it's literally perfect right now. You'd never tell we had any damage over here. Guys, I mean, look at my reflection over there. This thing is just perfect, guys. But even the wheel, guys, is just perfect. I mean, just look at that thing shine. I'm really happy with that. It's gonna match our front wheel perfectly. I mean, it's dirty now, but once we clean it up, everything will match just nicely. But I'm gonna stop drooling now, guys, because we still have a lot of work that we still need to do. So let me get these mounted on the bike and then carry on with fitting our fairings.
When I took the tank and wheel to get painted, I had to strip them. So now I have to put back the fuel pump, followed by the fuel cap, back on the tank. Once those are on, I can start assembling the front tank cover that came with the fairing kit on the tank. Then I can assemble the complete tank on the bike.
Then the last thing for me to do is to stick on the tank pads. Now it's time to reassemble the rear wheel. I'm first gonna put on these gaskets that go in between the wheel and the drive hub. Then I can put some Loctite on each bolt to secure the drive hub in place. And finally torque each bolt down to spec in a crisscross pattern. Now I can flip the wheel over and reinstall the brake disc carrier. Again, I'm reinstalling all the bolts with some Loctite and then tightening everything down to spec. Then I can finally start reassembling the complete rear wheel back onto the bike. Once that's all done, I can go back to fitting the fairings. This top piece just clips in place. Then I can install this side fairing piece, which is held down by 3 bolts. I'm also going to install the exhaust shield, which I got with the donor bike. Now it's time to move to the left side. For some reason this left piece didn't clip on easily like the right side, but I eventually got it to sit nicely. Then I could finally put on this left side piece. I had some minor alignment issues with the brackets on this side, but once I bent them back, everything fit perfectly. Time for this lever guard to go. I got some nice bar ends which I'm gonna fit on both sides, and I think the black will go nicely with the theme. Last things to do is to fit these inner pieces that go on each side of the bike. These are pretty easy to install, they just clip in place and held on with some plastic clips. Last thing for me to do is to remove this brake lever that came with the bike.
Nah. This can't be the same bike, guys. Hold on. Let me show you guys the finished product.
Let's see how you do under pressure. Oh, yeah, I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay, hey, yeah, ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra. Work with me, you know that I got it. Come with me, let's take a trip to the islands. We up on the jet, we'll do more than just fly on it. Stand on that hill, you gon' die on it. Boom, boom. Baby, I'm not one of them, you should try on it. Miss me with all that, I'm on it and next. Whip this up, I send you back to your ex. But good luck with that, this is big as it gets. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. Give them a name to remember.
And there we have it, guys. We've got the bike with all the fairings fully fitted, and wow, guys, I'm literally still in disbelief, guys. I still don't believe that this is the same bike, and I'm the one who put it together, but like it just looks so good, guys. It's really unbelievable. I really love these black fairings, guys, and if you weren't a believer in the all black look, hopefully this changes your mind, because what? And this is exactly the reason why I went with this stealthed out look, because I literally haven't seen an R1 like this locally, guys. So I think this is gonna stand out a lot. So there are a few little things that I did off camera, just a little. So the first one is these engine mounts, which are universal. I managed to make these work because luckily on the R1, or at least this model, the fairings don't cover the engine mounts or the frame over here. So these fit on nice and easy. And then I put on this sticker for the upper triple just to make this area look a little bit nicer, because yeah, we still have our damaged cluster over there. And yeah, I'm gonna sort that out ASAP. Now earlier I mentioned that I was in a bit of a rush to get this bike done. Now there's a track day coming up, and I figured what better way to test out this R1 than on the track, because surely if a bike can survive a full day on the track being abused and everything, surely it can survive anything. Just don't quote me on that. But that's the plan, guys. I want to take this bike out and properly test it out and make sure that everything is working
100% the way it should. I also want to get some reactions from people who haven't seen this bike, who don't know the history, and get their take after I show them how this bike used to look like. I'm sure that's going to be wild. But yeah guys, all of that is going to happen in the next episode. I want to do a few more checks on this bike just before I take it out, just because of how demanding track day is. So if you enjoyed this episode and watching me bring this bike back to life and completely transform it, guys, smash that like button, leave your comments down below, let me know what you think about this bike. I'm really proud of how this bike has come along. I love the black, guys. I think it looks stunning, it stands out, or at least locally it's one of a kind, and I'm really happy with the way it looks. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe, guys. I'd greatly appreciate that. But that's gonna be it from me, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.
How's it, man?
Good, man, good. That's me, yeah.
How's it, brother?
Chef, how's it?
Nice to meet you. This is the one.
Yeah, this is the one.
Huh? Amazing.
Wow.
Because we are now.
Yeah, and then that happens.